How's everybody doing out there today? Welcome to the show. This is Nothing But Facts, and I'm your host, Papa G. So let's get it.
Get a job and work, and shit didn't work. Say all I'm qualified to do is rhyme and spit a verse. Get my feelings hurt every time I sit in church. Real talking dead at me, nigga got me feeling worse. So I ain't congregating about 7 or 8 months. Broke the promise made to myself and started back blazing blunts. I know that's crazy, huh? Feeling like a bad man. I look at me in the mirror, but all I see is my dad, man. I got some things that I need to address. A couple of issues need to get off my chest. Like the fact that I got a son, I ain't been kicking it with him. Got him a ball, I ain't been pitching it with him. Yeah, I miss my little nigga. I try to get him, but me and his mama don't get along. I mean, I call, but the bitch when I pick up the phone, my therapist asked me what I do, the things that I does. Got up, looked her in the eye, my reply was.
Let's get our show started here today. How's everybody doing? Thank you, first of all, for taking time out of your day to listen at me, Papa G, as I host the show. I'm very excited once again about the show that I'm bringing to you today because, we always here with nothing but facts. So today's show is called America is Becoming a Cesspool. And I'm very excited about getting started with it. So we're just going to go ahead on and start it out with our prayer and open up. Lamentations chapter 3, verses 64 through 66, and it reads, Render unto them a recompense, O Lord, according to the work of their hands. Give them sorrow of heart, thy curse unto them. Persecute and destroy them in anger from under the heavens of the Lord. May the Lord add a blessing to the hearing, receiving, and doing of his word, because his word requires action. Okay, first of all, I'm going to get my show started today with fathers, because that's who I want to talk to first. You understand? But before we get off on to the fathers, there's a few things we have to cover. All right? So let's just get into it. We're here having a community conversation. And what is the community conversation about? The community conversation is about exposing the bully. And who's the bully? The bully is child support, the attorney general, the state, federal, and local government. Why? Family court, the Department of Education, Department of Correction, the minister at your church. Why? Because all of these are working hand in hand to perpetuate a system that goes against the Creator's wishes. Okay? The Creator intended for us to be male and female without offspring. He did not intend for us to be male and male, female and female. If he did, he would have created us in that manner. Okay? So when the government is giving ladies money and keeping them on the breeding farms, all right, so that the men can come and have intercourse with them, and since the state is sponsoring those ladies, state-sponsored prostitution, the men that come to be with those ladies have no value to those ladies because the value is already in the finances that they receive from the government. Okay? And in doing this, all right, but the government has now solidified its goal in erasing the father as only an ATM machine and a sperm donor. Okay? And so we understand that that is not the Creator's wishes. All right? We understand, fathers, that he left us charge of this place. Okay? And we have an assignment that we have to do. And being the head of the family, and he not talking about no brick and mortar structure, okay, especially over our male children, is paramount. This is our issue, men, to stand up and die for. We have not had a cause in this country to unite about, okay? It's been women clamoring, women hollering, women keeping up trouble all this time. Men have not had an issue to come together on and stand on until I'm bringing this up, and countless other people, okay? When the government is giving the Section 8, the food stamps, the welfare, the WIC, and all of the things that they automatically giving to these people, without these people lifting a finger or putting no effort in, they are diligently erasing the father. That's the double edge to that sword, and they know what they're doing. Then they turn around and charge the father for the accommodations that they done provided, and acting like, they did it under charity. But whoever heard of charity that come with a bill? And what they get out of it is, the long term, they get a permanent labor force in a correctional facility. So fathers, a leper cannot hide his spots. A male is a male and a female is a female. We have covered this, okay? So now I want to talk about things that are exclusive to fathers, okay? Because men, we bring exclusive things to the table, all right? So fathers teach their sons how to barbecue. Yes, ladies, y'all know how to barbecue a little bit. But on average, when we talking about real barbecue that hook up to a truck, real barbecue that you get out and you do regularly and you really enjoy with the wood and everything like that, that's a man thing. Okay? That's a man thing. Not a ladies thing. There are some exceptions to the rules on the things that I'm saying, but just understand that that's what they are. They are exceptions, not the standard. So, fathers also teach their sons how to fix all types of things, from auto mechanics to electrical to speaker wires to everything, to how to hook up a fish line, how to hunt. We teach our sons everything, how to put on a condom, how to shave, how to shape up your beard, everything. And to ignore what we bring to the table, when we don't ignore what you bring to the table when it comes to the young girls and the benefit that they get during their time of the month, it's well past preposterous. It's time for us to put it on the table. So it go like this in the breakdown. Check it out, you dig? The ladies understand that it is crazy to think of having the men to be responsible for raising all of the black girls. And we all understand all of the red flags that go up. Now, be fair and put the shoe on the other foot. How do you think we feel with you having our sons? Okay? It's time for us to have this community conversation. It's time for men to be able to honestly tell ladies, I don't want my son to want to be like you. I want my son to want to be like me. And ain't nothing wrong with us saying that. Ain't nothing wrong with me saying, I don't want my son to be nothing like his mama. I want my son to be exactly like me. And ladies, you shouldn't have no problem with that. Because you had a baby for this man. And if you have a problem with that, okay, then that's something personal with you. But still, he got to get what he got to get from that man. You cannot change these facts. Okay? Fellas, let me take a little second to holler at you real quick here. Because look, there's going to be some punishment and some sacrifice down this road in order for us to get the authority that we're trying to get, our rightful authority, which has been wrestled away from us which is our right to fatherhood and our right to raise our sons. First right of parenthood with the male children. So until we can get this done, you have to accept that this is what the Creator wanted. So if you're trying to do what the Creator wanted, you're going to be persecuted. If you're trying to make the father happy, make the son happy, do their wishes, whether you a believer or a non-believer, okay, the enemy is coming after you. Because this is not what they want. They understand exactly what type of society we would have if the men were given first right of parenthood to their sons. Which means that when a couple separates, the male child, it's mandatory that he goes with his father. They understand exactly what type of men we would have. Okay, and we're going to cover exactly what type of men we would have if the fathers were allowed to raise their sons, if fathers were given first right of custody to their sons. These are the type of things that you could look forward to, okay? All right, so we're going to cover some of the based on fact characteristic that is exclusively male, except for anomalies, okay? Because like I said earlier, there are some ladies who do know diesel mechanics. There are some female welders, all right? They're not like that many, but there are. There are some female plumbers, okay? But anyway, so things that are fact, based on male characteristics exclusively, like facial hair. This is supposed to be an exclusively male thing. Women are not supposed to have no knowledge or nothing on no beard. This is exclusively a male thing shared between the father and the son. This is my face, my appearance. If you can't cover my basic face, my basic appearance, you know what I'm saying? How are you prepared to give me the rest of the things that it takes that I'm about to cover here to be, if men were raising the boys to show you the deficiency that we're facing? Okay? Chest hair, that's exclusively for men. I mean, now, like I said, there are anomalies, but men are exclusively the ones who have chest hair. We also have a total different pelvic build from the ladies. Total different. Theirs is capable of opening and delivering in hours, have no such a skill. That's how come they can move their hips and gyrate their body in a certain way and do things that we can't do, except the anomalies. I said, except for the anomalies. So don't play around. I already said that. All right. And men, we have chests, not breasts. Okay. These are characteristics that are exclusive to us. Okay. So if we have these characteristics, why do we have these characteristics? Also, we have strength. That is a male characteristic in this form that we're talking about power. We're talking about the ability to lift large amounts of weight, to move large amounts of weight, to deal with huge objects, to build large scale things. We have strength. We have courage. Okay? We will go out and we will kill and bring the food back. All right? We even go to war to kill. We are independent. Okay? That's how we're able to go and get a lady, make a family, and be able to take care of that family. We are leaders and we are very assertive. That also falls in on the line of having your own family and being able to take care of them. The most important thing that we would see happen is we would have a masculine society. And in a masculine society, masculinity is aggressive. You see, these are things that ladies cannot compete with, so they try to go and use words like toxic. And if you allow somebody to take your strength and turn it against you, that's how they can make an even playing field. But the playing field is not even. Okay? Masculinity is aggressive. It is self-affirmation. You see it too. Young boys, what's the first thing they start doing once they get to school? They want to tap out. Tap out. You dig? I want to check it out. I want to see what I got. Why? Because that's just in male nature. So before you mess with them, they showing you who they are, what they made of. How many times you see the teacher telling two little boys, y'all stop that fighting? Because that's just, that aggressive, that's that self-affirmation. We are hyper-independent. When you see a young man who's being raised by his father, he got his plan together, you can't really too much tell him shit. He don't need you. He already been affirmed that he a man. He already got a confidant. He already got a plan. And somebody to fall back on if he need. It's only the boys who don't have the positive male figure in his life who need somebody to help him be independent. Because men who raised by their fathers, we hyper independent. Okay? For real, we'll go from homelessness to $100,000 in like a 6-month, 1 year period. If not $1 million. We do this. Social dominance. Masculinity is this is so true. Social dominance and lack of consideration for others. Men are very competitive, and we don't give a damn to let you know that you lost and how bad I beat your ass. Men don't give a damn to tell you beforehand how bad I'm going to beat your ass. Because that's how we get on. You understand? So when you have a society where the men are in charge of the boys, these are the traits that you're going to see popping up that we are lacking in today's society, and why the ladies are not respecting the men and thinking they can run this country. Fathers also instill an understanding of your penis and what it says when it's talking to you and how to control it. And a woman has no clue. I just had to tell you. It's just the truth. Look, masculinity rejects these things. Unconditional physical toughness and aggression. You see, when the pecking order is being established among boys or amongst men, if you're willing to stand up and fight back for yourself, a lot of times that's all that's required. Once somebody see you got pride and you're willing to fight back and stand up for yourself, the rest of the men will make sure don't nobody else mess with you. But as long as you're not out here being no asshole, but you have to be tough. You can't be scary. Men, we just like, we form packs if left alone. Okay? And those packs are based upon aggression and domination. Okay? It's just our natural instinct. You can't stop us from being who we are. If you try to stop us from being who we are, we will destroy society. We're already erasing the female in sport. It's a shame, and it's going to take us to have a masculine society in order to stop that from happening. Because let me explain something to you. You see, masculinity rejects homosexuality. It rejects it. It's an abomination to masculinity. That's why they're trying so hard to cancel masculinity, because they know that homosexuality stinks to masculinity like rags up underneath his nose. You understand me? I said it. Do something about it. You dig? They know that masculinity, it don't get down with the fear and emotions. Masculinity gets annoyed and aggravated with all of that. Okay? So in order for this to be able to permeate and them to be able to have Anheuser-Busch and all them people to be able to have these opposite of males be able to be created, they have to go against masculinity, because the natural male trait, which is masculinity, rejects fear and emotion. It rejects homosexuality. The number one thing masculinity rejects is sexual violence. We don't play that crap. No type of none of it. You understand me? Okay? We will do away with you. Real masculinity has no tolerance for victimization of the women and children. That is so despicable to masculinity until it's like, it's like a pile of maggot poop. You understand? I mean, a pile big enough for you to be able to see it. So they have to get rid of masculinity. So they try to say masculinity is toxic so that they can get control of the nation. Feminize the men. Well, certain men, they want to feminize. They want to feminize the middle class and the poor men. You see, wherever there's Democrats, they're promoting homosexuality. Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, they're all over the world telling the whole world, United States is America. We understand that homosexual rights is gay rights. We're a nation full of gays. Hey, we're a nation full of gays. Hey, we have to get these people out of office. You know, but let's get back to masculinity. Okay? Masculinity, it rejects feminist behavior. That's another thing. Masculinity will not allow for femininity to be in a dominant role at any time. The only time femininity can take charge is in things like childbirth, where a man has absolutely no role but to get the hot water, to get the towels, to do whatever, you know what I'm saying, to make sure all of the labor and all that stuff is being done. Get the car seat, get whatever need to be done. Okay? I'm just keeping it real. Listen. Masculine men want only feminine ladies. So, in order for the abnormal people, who are the minority of us, to be able to get recognition, once again, they're going against our basic building blocks. You understand me? They're going against our basic building blocks. Why? Why? So that they can destroy us. And who is helping make this happen? The Attorney General, child support, family court. You say, well, Gil, who else is the bully? America is the goddamn bully. That's who. Because America has gone and decided that the canon is not closed. So in 2003, America legalized sodomy. In 2015, America declared war on the covenant of marriage. And in doing so, they tried to add to and change the Creator's words. So now, people of faith, we have to understand that our time for Matthew chapter 11, verse 12 has come. It's here. And it reads, And from the days of John the Baptist until now, the kingdom of heaven suffereth violence, and the violent take it by force. Now listen, I'm not going to stop reading that to you. I'm not going to stop reading that to you because that flies in the face of the absurd lie of just be humble. Okay, that is Jim Crow talk, all right, so that you can stay subjugated. It's not meant to help you move forward spiritually with the Creator. That has nothing to do, that goes against the Creator's wishes, the way they're using it. Like the way they use love is love. Or God is love, I'm sorry. So since God is love, then they try to justify all of the immoralities and improprieties that are there. All right. Now, you know, have you ever been hungry, spiritually hungry? It's for me, I eat every day. Every day I eat. But some days I'll say I'm going to go and I'm going to eat over here at this building with these men and these women in so-called fellowship. And then you get there and you all hungry and you ready to eat. And you never get fed the whole time you there. And then you leave away from the place so hungry until you got to rush home and feed yourself. Stay away from those places. You go into a worship building and the minister know that that cross is a lie, but he got that cross sitting up there big as day. Stay away from them places. Read and find out for yourself. Okay? There is nothing worse than letting these people take you astray. All right? As long as you don't never open up the book or never go and do research for yourself and ask these crucial questions, you will always believe what these people saying and keep your mouth shut as a Christian or a person of faith, excuse me. And so then the enemy gets to accomplish his goal, which is to run to and fro and slay and destroy. But you are supposed to spread the gospel, but some kind of way the minister, then the preacher, then to reverse the word to you and told you be humble, hunker down, be quiet, don't say nothing. No, just, you know what I'm saying? That's them people, let them do. You're a coward here. Nowhere in there did he say that you're going to be safe for my name's sake. That is not what he said. So let me ask you a question, y'all. Why would you put on God's armor and not be ready to be bold? Why would you do that? Huh? Why would you put on the Lord's armor and then not be ready to be bold by being able to stand on it and understand that you're probably going to get defeated? I'm not in this fight against the Attorney General, child support, and the family court and the United States of America to change fathers' rights to first right of fatherhood to win this fight. I'm not in this to win. I'm in this to fight. If we happen to win in my lifetime, that's good. But it's different when you got somebody that's not here to win. They just here to kick your ass. That's all I'm here for. You understand me? Every time I knock them down, I'm going to step back and allow them to recover because I want to fight. Now, if they happen to surrender during this time period that we're kicking their butt, all of that is to the good. But my job is not to try and win. I'm here to fight. I believe that there's going to be plenty more of his children. He got soldiers just like me that's coming behind me that's going to carry on this fight. And my blood is going to be stained on that banner. But I will be called back. You know, how can a coward take up the sword and shield against principalities and you have no discipline? No discipline because you know he said spread the gospel, but you go only in fellowship inside that building in secret and then you go back home and keep your mouth shut. How you spreading the gospel? You have no discipline. That's what cowards do. Cowards let fear make them not act. That's what make you a coward. Okay? With no discipline, you are profane. Okay? You will surrender for a morsel of meat. Yes, you will. You know what I'm saying? Taking up the gospel doesn't mean you arm yourself with words only. It requires actions. I'm not making this up to you. You understand me? Taking up the word, when you put on that armor and you put on that sword and that shield, that don't mean you're going to win the fight. That's just preparing you to be in the fight. There's plenty bodies on both sides laid down in this battlefield. And I'm not talking metaphorically. I'm talking literally. Now, if you one of them people that just talk what you talk, that's cool. You know, maybe you'll promote somebody to want to get up and go and do something since you're a coward. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, I want to call shame. I mean, shame, shame, shame. Kamala Harris said her pronouns are she and her. So the vice president is identifying with this bullshit. She got pronouns. The United States of America is using CNN as the vessel to try to attack Zimbabwe, Kenya, the whole continent of Africa. And the whole continent of Africa has turned their back on the United States of America. The whole continent. 3 days ago, Africa said, all roads used to lead to Rome. Now all roads lead to Beijing, China. Meanwhile, in other world news today, the whole continent of Africa, you know, they said they called Putin, what did they call him? They called him, they gave him a good name. The Honorable Putin. This is what the presidents of countries inside the continent of Africa is calling Vladimir Putin. The Honorable Putin. Saudi Arabia then aligned with Russia and China. Japan is sneaking in a line with China, Russia, Africa, Asia against us. All right? I don't understand. So they lead to Africa, huh? And they said China, Never Africa said once they stop the U.S. from plundering their land, the U.S. will fall. So the leader, let me correct that. The leader, one of the leaders of an African country said to the Chinese that once they stop America from plundering their land, America is going to fall. So these people are openly sitting up talking about our demise and why they're going to stop doing business with us. And they are castrating Great Britain and France at the same time for their misdeeds during colonial times and occupation and all that they did. So we are now seeing the rest of the world raise up and start to hold America accountable for being colonizers and for the atrocities that they have committed over the world. We're seeing countries, correct America, countries in the continent of Africa standing up in world meetings and calling America out for its racism, prejudice, and misdeeds in support of atrocities in Africa and naming the atrocities, unlike in America where we are not in possession of a lot of the facts of what happened to a lot of the great black towns and cities that were built in Africa. They have a record of exactly what the colonizers have done and know who exactly was where. So we're sitting in a situation where the world is starting to blame America, you know what I'm saying, for its human rights violations. You know, South Africa pledged its loyalty to Russia. They have this new thing called Russia and Africa Coalition. Okay? I'm not making this up. It's the Russia-Africa Coalition. They allies now. All right? Who we have? We have America, Great Britain, and France. That's us alone. The three homosexual nations are going to go up against the rest of the known world. And all of the people that used to be down with us are no longer down with us because they don't want to have homosexuality forced upon them. And they have started to look toward the future and how they can grow their country and understand that America is still trying to deal with them like they have the upper hand. And then you have other nations like Russia and China coming in and making fair deals. These people not stupid. Listen. Remind me again, who was the woman of the year in 2015? The woman of the year in 2015 was Caitlyn Jenner. Remember I told you the war was declared in 2015? That's also when they started to erase the woman. When you can take a man that's only been a man for maybe a year, and I mean that's only been transferred into a woman for maybe a year, and you can say that he is the woman of the year, better than all of the women that's been women since they was born. And women stood around and clapped and applauded this. Now we got to stand up for their sports and their restrooms and their dressing rooms, because they had no business ever being allowed to talk so much to make effect in this country, to cause this much confusion anyway. Now they very institutions are under attack. I was looking at a MMA tournament where the prize was $20,000, and it was a trans female, which is really a man, but he said he was a woman, and so he entered into the competition and he destroyed all the women. And I thought that, you know, we was against, you know, men beating on women. And why would you put it on TV? And then, like, I think his name is Dana White, whatever his name is. Like, he didn't have a problem with it. The man over the MMA, he didn't have a problem with it. And I don't understand how he can't see that that's a man fighting a woman. You know? And, you know, and another thing, I want to say this. I got to put this out here because I'm tired of always looking at these numbers. You know that black people, we abort over 242,000 black babies. You know, and then over 10,000 black people are murdered, you know, like yearly across the United States of America. That's more than days of the year. So if black people are aborting over 240,000 babies per year, and black people are across this nation killing about a good 10,000 black people a year, you know, please stop saying Black Lives Matter. Please stop saying Black Lives Matter, because if Black Lives Matter, who they matter to if they don't matter to the black people? All right. So I'm looking. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna leave you with this here. If you believe in the Father for real, the Son, and the Holy Ghost, then you don't need no pistol in the pulpit. You don't need no security at the church. If I'm gonna die, and if I'm dying in worship and prayer with my mind clear and in servitude to Him, who are you to stop me from going into judgment in such a great order where you know I'm gonna be called back? You see those people that Dylan Root killed? Those people worshiped and praised the Lord in a mighty, mighty powerful way. And after they finished glorifying and sanctifying the Lord, He murdered them. What better way to go? If you truly have faith, what better way to go? Because me, I'm not scared of dying. I just don't want to die wrong. You understand? So, but you know, if you're a coward, you ain't gonna understand that. So you're gonna have a pistol in the church, and it's not about the Creator, it's about you. Okay? So if you are, you know, if we're allowed to have a masculine society, okay, then, you know, we will obey God, you know, so that we could have eternal life, because, you know, men, we believe in serving the Father and the Son and the Holy Ghost. We do, all right, with all of our heart. And the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. And we know that, men, and we know that we are charged with raising our homes with the fear of the Lord. And that's how come child support, the Attorney General, federal court, family court, the state, federal, local government, United States of America, they don't want that. Because, you know, they know that the father being in the home is going to make sure that the people are leaving, you know, good and wholesome with wisdom. Why would they have wisdom? Because they would have the fear of the Lord in them. And we know that because if you go and look back at American society, before we started to do the women's lib and all this other kind of stuff, the fear of the Lord permeated throughout this country. That's what made us great, you know. And last but not least, if fathers were in charge that of the boys, we would be able to say that, you know, we have departed from evil. You know what I'm saying? And our boys would have a whole lot of understanding coming into this world, because they would already be validated as men by their fathers, and they would already have the number one person in their life to let them know that they are ready to meet the challenge, and they will be looking forward to impressing him and not being able to be impressed by people in the street. So listen, my Cash App is $Gil Muse. If you made it this far, please like, share, and subscribe, and leave a comment, you know. But above all, thank you for listening, because everybody's time is precious. And I just want to say, you know, shout out to Mr. Andrew Tate. You know, shout out to the late, great Kevin Samuels. Still checking out Joe Material. Shout out to Fresh and Fit, to Crimson Cure, and all of the people in the manosphere that's out there trying to do the right thing and keep things like it's supposed to be. So until next time, this Papa G saying I love you and I love everybody. Peace.
get a job and work, that shit didn't work. Say all I'm qualified to do is rhyme and spit a verse. Get my feelings hurt every time I sit in church. Real talking dead at me, nigga got me feeling worse. So I ain't congregating about 7 or 8 months. Broke the promise made to myself and started back blazing blunts. I know that's crazy, huh? Feeling like a bad man. I look at me in the mirror, all I see is my dad, man. I got some things that I need to address. Couple issues need to get off my chest. Like the fact that I got a son, I ain't been kicking it with him. Got him a ball, I ain't been pitching it with him. Yeah, I miss my little nigga. I try to get him, but me and his mama don't get along. I mean, I call, but the bitch when I pick up the phone.